Tyre Nichols.
This morning, outrage in Memphis is growing over the death of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols at the hands of police.
He was a human pinata for those police officers.
I would first like to give my condolences to the family and friends and relatives. No one should have to see their family member or their friend beaten to death, kicked, punched, lynched on national television, on YouTube, recorded. And that's the last memory that you will have of them. No one should have to see that. Now, with that being said, I'm not counting out the fact that these could be paid actors and this could be another deception by the devil. But that does not negate what I am about to say here today. In many, many respects, the institution of policing in America is racist. The entire department, the entire institution, every single one of them. If you're a cop, you're a racist. If you support the police officers in America, you're a racist. This is point blank, period. There is no discussion about this.
And a lot of people who see this are pointing out the fact that justice sure seems to be coming swiftly when the 5 officers look like this. From the moment this story broke, these images were associated with it. They had the faces of the officers out there from day one, as far as I can remember. And I have yet to hear a peep from a specific group that's usually very, very loud about situations like this. That group will just roll them up in a bundle and call them Blue Lives Matter. Normally, a situation like this, as soon as it's even implied that an officer could be responsible for the death, people are losing their minds from that group. They're sitting, no, you don't know what they go through. You always just want to say murder. Why didn't they comply? It's immediate with the victim blaming and what was his record and what did he do? Crickets on this one. Absolute crickets.
When the police ran inside of Trump's office, everybody said, inside of Trump's house, everybody said that the police was corrupt. And then all of a sudden they had all this negativity that they were showing towards the FBI. It was the FBI who allowed them to rig the last election. It was the FBI who did the whole Russiagate thing. It's always the FBI. The FBI has something to do with JFK being killed. Always the police. Always. The assassination of Martin Luther King, every assassination that's ever happened on U.S. soil, that's ever happened in the world. The CIA was involved in the cocaine Contras. The list goes on, and the Black Panthers being killed. The list goes on and on and on and on about the corrupt things that the institution of policing in America has done. It's a corrupt institution who knowingly target Black people, period. It's a racist organization. And I can say that without having any fear, because if I was to go out tomorrow and get shot by a cop, most likely that's what they was going to do to me anyway, because they're racist anyway. This is just a fact. It's just a fact. I can prove this with logic. I can prove this with statistics. For example, the logic should easily show you there is thousands of videos that literally go look for a video. Go look for videos of Black men being killed on unarmed Black men being killed with body cam footage. Go look for it. You can at least find 100. You can at least find 100 unarmed Black men being killed predominantly by white police officers, unarmed. Now, would you sign up to go work at Jeffrey Epstein's island? Oh, I'm gonna help fix this institution. I'm one of the good guys here. No, you're a pedophile too. I don't care if you were just on the staff. You're a racist too. No, I'm one of the good cops. No. They call that, what do they call that? You are a co-conspirator. You're a co-conspirator. You're right along with them. You're a co-defendant. You're right along with them. God is not about to show no partiality between you and them. God, I'm preaching to somebody right now. Oh, I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Leviticus 19 and 15. Do not pervert justice. Do not show partiality or favoritism when you're judging your neighbors. This is judge your neighbor fairly, God is saying in Leviticus 19 and 15. When the white conservatives see the white cop shoot the unarmed Black man, they say that the white cop, I'm waiting till I see the evidence. But then when the Black cops, you see all these 6 Black cops beat the crap out of this Black man, they say, oh yeah, lynch him now. Kill him now. Notice the difference.
There are people who believe when you join law enforcement, you're no longer black or white or brown, you're blue. That's the color you are now. Well, it seems like sometimes when the officer is black and then there's an alleged crime committed to a certain group, he becomes black again real quick.
This is pure racism, prejudices, pure, point blank, period. And for a black man in America, oh Lord, I'm finna get into a lot right now. For a black man in America, we've been dealing with this for 400 years. Acts 7 and 6. I got something I want to talk about here. Acts 7 and 6. God spoke to him in this way. For 400 years, your descendants will be a stranger, listen to this, in a country that is not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated. For 400 years, they will be enslaved and mistreated. Name one people on the entire planet Earth right now who fits this prophecy. You name one people right now on the entire planet Earth who is complaining, protesting, marching that for 400 years they have been enslaved and mistreated in a country that is not theirs. Name one people. You went 400 years, walked into 2020, and the world ain't never been the same since. This is just a fact. Oh, God, so much I want to say about this. Like I said, I'm not disqualifying the fact that this could be paid actors in deception by the devil, because we know they do this with the George Floyds and the Ahmaud Arbery's, and they exacerbate and they bluff and they fluff and they create controversies, right, to split and divide the people. We understand that, but that doesn't mean that the institution of policing in America isn't racist. It was founded on racist principles as slave patrol, and the police right now to this day are still conducting slave patrol in every single city in America. You a damn fool if you're telling me that's not happening. You a damn fool. Go over to whatever city you live in. I just left Sacramento. I just left Sacramento, California. My cousin lives in a predominantly white neighborhood. You know how many cops I seen when I was over there? Almost none, but actually I did see one. We went over to the other side of Sacramento. You know how many cops I seen? One on every corner. On every corner. The other side of Sacramento, meaning the black side, the hood. So it's slave patrol still. You come right here out to Vegas. You come to the white neighborhood, the majority white neighborhood, you won't see one cop. You can speed all the way through Summerlin. You go to the historical west side, you accidentally don't turn your blinker on a right turn, and I guarantee you get pulled over. Because there's a cop on every single corner. They're still conducting slave patrol to this day. Go over to Detroit, Michigan. You see a cop on every corner. Then go up to Spring Hill, or I can't think of that city with all the white people in it. Spring Hill, one of them cities up north in Michigan, and you won't see one cop. They're still conducting slave patrol, patrolling the slaves, mistreatment for 400 years. This is a fact. You a damn fool if you think anything else. The institution of policing in America is so racist that even if you're black and you join the organization, you're racist. Because the identity of that organization is racism. So even the black members are racist towards themselves. If you cannot see this, you are crazy. You're crazy. There's a show called The Shield, the TV show called The Shield that I watched a long time ago. I remember that show. It was a real good show. And it shows a lot of the real of the policing. And, behind the scene, and I know several police officers, black ones, real ones, right, that have quit. And I'm talking about over the years that have quit and told me this exact thing, it's just too racist. But check this out in the show. It shows like behind the scenes how they talking with each other. It's just like when I was in the army. They told us that the Iraqis are bad guys. Any Iraqi male that you see with a gun is a bad guy, right? If you're a police officer, the black men with guns are bad guys, right? This is inbred in your mind. So the Iraqi man is a bad guy. They told me he a bad guy. So any Iraqi man I saw with a gun, he was a bad guy. We slamming him, throwing him on the ground. We arrested him, put the zip cups on him, all that, right? Now put it in reverse. Now that you got critical thinking skills and you ain't stupid and you know that they're not just bad because they bad. Now think of it from this perspective. If a foreign army invaded Texas and was patrolling the streets of Texas every day, would not the Americans hold guns to protect themselves? So now you will see, every Iraqi isn't a bad guy, but they're actually just protecting themselves from the foreign invasion of people that's patrolling their neighborhoods. I'm preaching to somebody right now. You don't understand this. So that is the same thing with the American police officers. They told them that every black man is a bad guy. Everyone. And especially one that's armed. So if you see one that's armed, he's bad. Doesn't matter. He got right. I got the right to protect my Second Amendment. I got my CCW on me. I got what? Are you crazy? You seen the other guy? Was it Philando Castro had a CCW, whoever it was, and they dumped off in the car already. Don't matter if you black with a CCW, crazy. The institution is racist. Oh Lord, it's racist. But I've been talking. Let me hurry this up. I've been talking to y'all about how every problem facing Black America can be solved by us following God's laws, by us specifically following God's laws. Exodus 20:13 says, you shall not murder, or you shall not kill, which is translated that you shall not murder, meaning killing someone for no reason. So 6 officers or 7 officers beating the crap out of one of us, you killing him for no reason. Leviticus 19:17, do not hate your fellow Israelite in your heart. Do not hate your brother. These men hate Black men. Right now, like I said, I'm not discounting that it can be paid actors, but let's just talk about the scenario. Black cops, officers specifically, and they hate Black men. Why is this? Why is this? Because they're in a job, in a profession, in an environment where, oh Lord, I'm preaching to somebody right now, just like when I was in the army, that says the Iraqis are the bad guys. The profession says the Black men are the bad guys. This is literally what it says. You're stupid. You literally, you people are on crack if you don't realize this. They're in the back halls cracking jokes about the Black men that they arrested. Oh yeah, we got another one. Yeah, all the, them hoodlums. They go ask Brandon Tatum. He racist towards Black men. He was a cop. He was a cop. So when he see a Black man, he see it out of the white cop eyes. He see it from the white cop's eyes because it's their institution. It's not your institution, it's their institution. You don't get to come in and change their institution. You only 1%. So he can see it from their eyes. Oh yeah, here goes another thug. Go grab him. Grab him. Get him. He out past curfew. That's what I was talking about when the COVID curfew hit. I said, it's been a curfew in Black America. White people, you type on here and tell me how many of y'all got a curfew in y'all neighborhood. Then I want you to start looking up. You might can't find it online, but I want you to go ask some Black people that's from the hood, how many of them have ever been pulled over by the police, say they was out past curfew. See, you only heard of curfew during COVID. When I was growing up in Oakland, the police would stop me and say, you out past curfew. See, they've been had a curfew in our community. We've been under oh Lord, I could get into that deep, but I've already talked to y'all about that before. Oh, Lord, I thank you. I thank you. So that's what I just wanted to get into. Acts 7:6, God spake unto him and said in this way, for 400 years, your descendants will be strangers in a country that is not their own and will be enslaved and mistreated. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves. Wait a minute. For 400 years, and then the King James Version says, and then I will judge the nation whom they served as slaves. 400 years, they was mistreated and they was enslaved. And then after that 400 years, I'm going to judge the nation whom they serve as slaves. That's okay. You don't get it? Okay, all right. You finna get it soon. Give it to the end of this year. I promise you, at the end of this year, whoever you are watching this, at the end of this year, you mark my words, by the end of this year, this prophecy you will get. And then you'll be running to me to repent. I promise you that if you don't get it now, by the end of this year, you're going to get it. Revelation 19:11, I saw heaven standing open, and there before me was a white horse whose rider is called Faithful and True. With justice, he judges and wages war. Every time I hear him say, no justice, no peace, all I can think about is justice is coming. Justice, they say no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. Justice coming. He said, with justice, he judges and wages war. His eyes are like blazing fire, and his head are there, and on his head are many crowns. He has a name written on him that no one knows but himself. He is listen to this, he is dressed in a robe dripped in blood, and his name is the word of God. The armies of heaven are following him. Listen, justice is coming, and the armies of heaven will be following him. Oh, look, he's riding on a white horse, dressed in fine linens, white and clean. Coming out of his mouth is a sharp sword to strike down the nations. Coming out of his mouth is a sword to strike down the nations. Your whole life, I'm going to let y'all go. Your whole life, you heard pastors preach. Pastor Hagee, every white pastor you ever heard, T.D. Jakes, all the black pastors, whatever kind, Hebrew Israelite pastors, Christians, Muslims, Jewish, Israel, whoever you want to name, you've heard preachers, rabbis, pastors say your whole life that you're going to have to choose in the end between God and Satan. Everybody has heard that, right? But you never heard that Satan is the nations. Oh, I'm done. Let me get out of here. I'm done. let me get out of here, because it said he got a sharp sword in his mouth to strike down the nations. I'm talking about the nations with whom the American police represent. I'm saying that Satan is the nations. Black men, in closing, we have to love each other because no one else will. We got to fight against white Western culture, European society. Listen, we got to fight against America, right? You got to fight against the world. Oh, Lord, and listen, you got to fight against, listen, I don't want to say this, but some Black American women, you got to even fight against. They hate you too. So we got to love ourselves. Scripture said in Leviticus 19:16, do not do anything that endangers your neighbor's life. Don't do anything that endangers one of us. We all we got. So we got to love each other. No one else will. Again, my condolences to the family. No one should have to see their loved one suffer like that. They shouldn't. You know, and I also, like I said, and I'm also not discounting the fact that the devil could be playing some deception. Look, remember October 11 in Vegas? Right? Remember Alex Jones said something about Sandy Hook. I don't want to get in trouble, so I ain't finna say nothing, but I'm just saying he said it could have possibly been something different. And just by him saying that, he got banned. Why can't you even say that? Right? Why can't there even be an opposing view if I have freedom of speech to say that I believe that this could have been something else, that there's more to this, right? But regardless of that, that doesn't take away from my point about this institution and about the way that we should be treating each other regardless.